Hey everybody, been a little while since I've done an update. The beard's been longer and then trimmed since, but here I am today. June 18th, we are at Empower Spinal Cord Injury Camp. This is University of Montana, as you can see from Main Hall behind me. It's been a week. It's almost over here. We're Friday, and we are headed into the weekend. The camp has been quite therapeutic for me. I've been a peer mentor this year versus being a camper the last year. So, that was in 2019. So that was about 9 months after my injury, and I wasn't ready. I remember saying that to myself and to everybody around me, that I was super scared and that I had to stay in a dorm room, that I was worried about all my ADLs, I was worried about getting dressed, I was worried about this and that, and it was also really challenging and hard for me at the time because it was in my hometown, in Missoula, Montana. So the challenge became the grief, the sadness, all the feelings that I may never do this again, or I may never do that again. And that was kind of a quote that I've used through this whole week to share with the other Empower participants, the new ones, new to the injury, and saying, it's not never anymore. It's if and how. And I'm sorry, not if, but it's how, and it'll look different, but it's when. So I guess, kind of what empower means to me is, I guess what the name says. You feel empowered. You do feel a sense of hope. You feel a sense of doors opening. You feel like you're able, that there are things you are able, and that life does go on, and that you see that from peers, and you see that from the therapist here. The peers were very, very powerful for me. I was happy to be a peer this year, honored to be a peer, I should say. The esteemed company of Joe Stone and Maddie Bremkamp. These guys are been killing it their whole lives, basically, since their injuries. And I'm only 3 and some change out, coming up on 4 years after my injury. So a long ways from being a veteran to the injury, but also hopefully that can bring some sense of empowerment and hope to the people with new recent injuries, that we will persevere, that yes, you do not have the same abilities anymore, but you have a new mind, you have a new perspective, you have a discipline, you have something that many, many people don't, and that's perspective, and that we're still here, and that it's all about finding those things that bring you hope, that bring you joy, and that help you get through your day. So remember that, whether it's the rec therapy stuff that we do at Empower, or just setting a goal and killing it. Whether it's, the goals are so different. It was interesting for me because, you see the injuries again, the differences in the injuries that I haven't seen since Craig. But here, a real wide variety of ages and injuries, and, from young to old, the goals are still goals. And the sense and the fact that you're here for a week is you are full-time in therapy, and there's always somebody there that is pushing you and helping you to continue on, because there's those days where you just want to crawl back in your bed in your room at Empower because you're exhausted, you're embarrassed, you're frustrated, and they won't let you. So that's the same mentality you have to take, and I take in my day too, is that there's days when it's really hard to get out of bed, but you gotta pry yourself out of bed one way or another, whether it's something to look forward to, or it's just someone you want to talk to, or who knows, just remember, focus on those things. Focus on what you can do, not what you can't. So, great thanks to the team, Carrie, Liz, Jess, who I don't know if I've ever met, and Stephanie. So, and then there's the returning res aides and therapists. Unbelievable pull of this program. So Empower Spinal Cord Injury in Missoula, Montana, 2023. Please be here. Please tell your friends that need to come. I know they're not ready, but now is the time. Because if you don't do it now, it's 12 months later and you're missing out for 12 months, because the seeds that you planted in Power will carry you a long, long ways past your injury. And it may be, it's all it takes is one trip to Empower. But my friend Ken came back again. He was here in 2019 and he's doing amazing, but he also knows that he needs to be here. It's important. We all have to fill our buckets one way or another. So I apologize for the runny face. It's coming out every hole right now. And tears of joy, I guess. I'm really grateful, and I had the opportunity and experience. So thank you for bringing it to me, and see you next year.